Today we'll talk about the onion ring telephone monopoly and the high-altitude digital tycoons perched inside their glass and steel Silicon Valley fortresses are currently enduring a collective existential crisis of unprecedented, greasy proportions. A terrifying disruption has completely paralyzed the global telecommunications matrix, and it did not emerge from a multi-billion-pound research laboratory or an artificial intelligence think tank. Instead, the entire future of planetary communication has been aggressively rewritten by a pint-sized comedy cartel operating out of a Year 6 classroom in Kent. And these miniature tactical masterminds from Joy Lane Primary School in the seaside town of Whitstable have officially seized control of the national humour monopoly. The legendary scholastic syndicate, specifically known to local authorities as the Boys Class, has been formally coronated by the Supreme Illustrated Print Tribunal, known as the Beano. And their pedagogical supervisor, an educational handler named Bethan Crow, witnessed 32 prepubescent disruptors collapse into an absolute state of chaotic and really unadulterated giggling. The precise linguistic weapon that brought the entire international cellular network to its knees was a devastatingly profound pun regarding deep-fried culinary hardware. The world was forced to listen to their groundbreaking thesis. I didn't think food could make calls, but then, boom, onion rings. This simple golden revelation has sent shockwaves through the boardrooms of Apple and Samsung, who are completely unprepared to compete with a battered side dish. The primary architect behind this, let's call it a vegetative technological breakthrough, is a young 10-year-old scholar named Jack, who apparently possesses terrifying cognitive powers. Jack casually informed the national press that he simply pondered with immense cerebral force until the deep-fried telecom revelation manifested in his mind. Yet, in a shocking twist of absolute psychological warfare, Jack confessed that he does not even harbor a personal fondness for consuming actual onion rings. He merely weaponized the concept of the crispy, savory loops to completely stabilize the multi-billion-pound mobile phone subscription infrastructure. And meanwhile, domestic tensions have reportedly flared within his household as his older teenage sibling is currently drowning in a sea of intense and bitter envy. The adolescent brother attempted to project a carefully manufactured facade of cool nonchalance, but everyone knows he's utterly devastated by Jack's sudden comedy hegemony. And the sheer weight of this monumental achievement caused immediate and dramatic physical reactions within the ranks of the Year 6 intellectual collective. Upon hearing the official decree of the national victory, an academic collaborator named Alexis literally plummeted to their knees in absolute speechless disbelief. And for their historic contribution to the fields of both lunchroom catering and digital engineering, the entire classroom is being granted the ultimate reward. These coastal children will now be permanently immortalized as illustrated caricatures within the sacred, ink-stained pages of Britain's most legendary comic publication. And this means the local Kentish rebels are officially part of the national folklore, standing alongside historic icons of mischief and absolute anti-establishment behavior. And naturally, the terrified cellular conglomerates are already scrambling to deploy corporate spies to the vegetable allotments of the United Kingdom. The corporate overlords are desperate to establish an aggressive monopolistic chokehold on the local white onion supply chains before the public catches on. And why should any reasonable citizen surrender a massive monthly financial ransom to a network provider when they simply can dial out using a side of a fast food? So we are witnessing a total hostile takeover of the digital landscape by a bulbous root that is historically famous for making fully grown adults weep. The traditional underground fiber optic nervous system of modern civilization is about to be entirely replaced by bubbling vats of scalding vegetable oil. And it turns out that the true future of global data transmission is not fifth-generation cellular towers, but rather a delicious crunch-induced audio frequency. The tech barons are desperately trying to calculate how a group of primary school pupils managed to outmaneuver their entire software engineering department. They spent decades developing facial recognition and folding screens, completely blind to the immense telecommunication potential of a well-salted circular snack. And the entire silicon-based economy is now teetering on the edge of total collapse because a few British children decided to weaponize their lunch menu. Every major data network provider is currently holding emergency board meetings to discuss the imminent threat of deep-fried alternative communication arrays. They are terrified that consumers will soon abandon their sleek, fragile glass-tracking rectangles in favor of a much cheaper, crispier alternative. Imagine walking down the high street and seeing people holding greasy golden circles to their ears while trying to negotiate international business contracts. The comedic authorities at the publishing house have essentially handed a loaded linguistic weapon to a group of children who do not even pay taxes yet. And the entire population of Whitstable is currently celebrating this magnificent blow against the corporate tech monopolies of the Western Hemisphere. The sheer audacity of the boys' class has proven that genuine British wit is vastly more powerful than the most advanced microchip ever manufactured. And as the global market tries to adjust to this savory paradigm shift, the price of battery power is plummeting while the value of better mix skyrockets. And we can only watch in absolute awe as these young comedic pioneers continue to dictate the future of the digital interactions from their tiny plastic desks. The corporate empire has truly met its match in the form of 32 primary school pupils armed with a devastatingly effective vegetable pun. So the next time your mobile network coverage drops or your smartphone data plan increases in price, do not despair or call customer service. Simply march down to your nearest independent fish and chip establishment, order a portion of golden loops, and attempt to connect directly to the matrix. The tech giants can now try to buy up the fields, but they will never truly control the glorious deep-fried freedom of the onion ring telephone monopoly.